everyone, and welcome back to Fate's End, a Dungeons & Dragons homebrew game driven by Fate. And boy howdy, Slayer Geezer, have you got us up in arms back here with that comment you just made. Of all the theories, who's Samson gonna romance? But yes, let me get into the announcements. First of all, we want to shout out Tabletop Audio at tabletopaudio.com for the ambiance that we use in our shows from time to time. We also want to shout out our partner, Nine Realms Gaming. They create top-notch gaming accessories from the finest woods this realm has to offer. You can visit ninerealmsgaming.com and use our exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off. I almost forgot to mention, yes, we are starting a little late. We had a bit of an internet issue that is over with now, so we apologize for that, but we are back. We are here. We are ready. I don't know what I'm doing with my hands. Shout out to Sirenscape for the ambient sounds, music, and their online player that we use on stream, and we do use our sounds from time to time. You can follow us on social media with Command Socials, or you can use Command FateCast to follow the entire cast here at Fate's End. If you missed out on our Kickstarter, our pre-order store is open and live. You can head on over to our pre-order shop and grab Stargazer's Guide to Aurora and any of the awesome items from our Kickstarter campaign now. And I believe it's going to be open until December 16th, Daniel? Daniel doesn't know? Okay, we'll get back to you on that. But it is going to be closing soon, so grab it if you haven't grabbed it yet. My voice is a little garbage. I do have a little bit of a cold, so my acting might be a little goofy or sniffly or snorty tonight. So I'm going to do my best. Thank you for your patience. Whew. Other than that, tonight I believe Finali is going to be recapping this last session. So with that being said, the time has come. We're going to draw our cards for tonight's episode of Fate's End. And while you guys watch the recap, the rest of us are going to just talk about who this NPC Samson romance should be.
Bloodsport.
Bloodsport. All right, so to the recap we go.
Hey, glad you could catch up with us after the tea house. So much has happened. This has definitely been the most eventful birthday I've ever had. Before going to the gala to get Symphonia's lyre, we head back to Aretes to put on a suitable attire. You remember when Esperis and I snuck in Dias's and Polai's room? Well, guess who we heard screaming upstairs when we arrived?
It is Dias. Her face is very, very red.
Oh no.
Of course. I'm so sorry. Of course, do what you must
do.
Oh, red! Wait, how red? Like, really red?
It is, it looks like scab and peeling, and it is very, very unsightly. And she is not, she is panicking. I should probably, she's going, yes, I need to go.
Thank you so much.
Hilarious, right? She'll be scratching off those scabs for at least a week. Soon we were off to the gala. We had a few complications, but eventually Samson pulled out the charm and we were able to get in. An auction, if you didn't know, is a fancy party where people go and pay loads of money for things they don't really want. It's just a game for rich people. So we split up to find the best way to either buy or earn this prized lyre. Esperis and Latern scope out the competition and keep an eye on the area. Samson, well, he finds a really weird guy named Donnie hanging out in the shadows and tries to enlist his help.
Are you saying he got your eyes on something here as well?
Oh no, maybe. But you know what, Donnie? I thought perhaps maybe we could be partners, but I can see that you absolutely don't want that. So let me just go talk to a few of these legendmen and these guards real quick, because I feel as though, there might be some danger afoot.
Whoa!
Whoa! What do you mean? What do you mean? No! I just gotta go. I'm concerned. There's a man over there.
There ain't no
need. I point at Latern and I'm like, see that guy over there?
Latern is scowling at Samson as soon as he points to.
I point at see that guy over there. I'm concerned he might be in the thievery business. And I just wouldn't want anything to happen to any of these fine auctioneers tonight, you know what I'm saying? So let me go take care of that. real quick.
There's no need to get hasty, friend.
Prearia watches the exits and goes to eavesdrop on the crowd. She learns that a man named Lucius Rudolfo Bigsby has a really jealous wife, and she's been cheating on him. This is like a scene in one of my novels, The Baron's Lusty Grudge, where getting off track. I end up running into this Lucidius Rudolfo Bigsby, and for some reason he takes me as what did he call it? Oh, a poor sad little gutter rat.
Oh, you poor, sad little gutter rat. Oh, of course, maybe I could get you something.
Daniel. Sorry, Daniel's making me laugh.
I am a poor, sad little gutter rat.
There's no wonder you're covered in sugar and crumbs. You probably haven't eaten in months.
This is my only meal I've had all day.
You probably haven't ate sugar or sweets your entire life. You sad, sad thing. I don't even know how you got in here. It's quite impressive, I must say, but you really are. We'll clean you up a little bit. You don't want to...
I guess I just really like the lyre because, well, I live on the streets, and maybe the lyre would be able to play music and cover the sounds of the city while I try and fall asleep.
It has been playing a rather depressing, melancholy song that would suit you so, and it would just suit you so. It really would.
It speaks to me.
What a charitable guy. I told the party someone might buy it for me for my birthday, but they didn't believe me. Turns out all I had to do was look sad, and he was eager to believe I peed on sofas. Do people really pee on sofas? Wouldn't it soak into the cushions? I mean, Stonks peed on the blankets before, and it stayed wet for hours.
Oh my god, look at that! The curtain's on fire! The curtain's... Somebody do something! Oh my god, he is bleeding!
Suddenly, chaos. The curtains are set on fire, people are running around screaming, and the lyre is gone! Ludin moves into action, spreading news of the lyre's disappearance, following Donnie, who has the lyre in his jacket, and making sure he got caught by the authorities. Meanwhile, Samson kept the ledgerman busy by fooling him into thinking he brought the lyre in the bathroom with him. Esperise distracted a sun elf to make sure he stopped bidding, and with a lot of scheming, deceit, intention to blackmail if things went south, and a lot of running around, we finally walked out of there with Symphonia's lyre. I think we make a pretty good team.
Now you don't want to break the strings, and you don't want to pull too hard, okay?
Do my best. Wow, this is like the best birthday present I've ever had.
Of course it is. It's the only birthday present you've probably ever received.
It's true. It is the only birthday present I've ever received.
Well, it was nice to meet you, Gutter.
And when I fall asleep at night, I'll think of you.
Oh,
I'm no longer a gutter rat. Now I'm a gutter possum.
I hope you wake up.
Before the show the next day, the party splits to take care of some last-minute tasks. Samson tells me how to successfully go into dreams and advises me not to do what I'm planning on doing. He thinks it's a bad idea, but it's not like it's the first bad idea we've ever done. Ludin and Esperise exchange apologies, and then Esperise decides to spend some time with Arete before we have to leave Dawn's Rise later that night.
Love is a choice. It is not just a feeling, of course. There are times love is very tested, even in the relationship with your mother and I. Sometimes couples fight, but that is normal. Love is not just it's a choice as well. And I not only choose to love you to this day, my little diamond, but I feel it in my soul.
Love is a choice. A wonderful, life-changing choice. Speaking of love, we headed to the cathedral where Heaven's Lantern holds her performances. And, well, I don't think anyone was anticipating what happened in there.
Cassius, without taking his eyes off her, begins moving into the aisle, and the ushers begin to move toward him, looking to escort him from the theater. and as about 4 strong ushers kind of approach him, he looks back for a moment, seeing them approach, and furrows his brow at her, and he says, "No!" aloud. But she can't hear him. She's looking down, and there is this look of utter defeat, and he quickly signs over and over again. And the ushers begin to take him by the arms, pulling him back. And he places 2 fingertips to his temple, and Zemlin looks up and her brow was furrowed, confused, taken aback. And she raises a hand and says, "Stop. Let him go." And the ushers look amongst themselves confused, and they let go. And she tilts her head suspiciously, and there's a hint of distrust and anger that begins to form across her face, as if this was a trick. But Cassius, without hesitation, begins walking towards her, past the 2 tall standing candelabras, up the steps, under the steeple, and his arms reaching out toward her, but she takes a step back very hesitantly, and he stops right in front of her. His arms still reaching, and he seems as if he's in absolute, utter pain, his brow arched looking at Zemlin. And he places his fingers upon his temple. And Latern and Samson, you see he mouths the words, "Risen." And he continues, "I love you, Firefly. Always. No dream. Me." He holds her hands out. He takes them and places them on his face. Smiling, tears streaming down his face. And now hers as well. She sharply exhales, and Finlay, a conversation is had, though you can't hear it. You know he speaks to her in his mind now. With so many eyes upon them, she runs to him, and he pulls her into an embrace and kisses her, placing his forehead to hers, quietly passing thoughts to one another. For those words are for them alone. And he cradles her head in his arms, and she holds on to him as if any moment he will disappear.
Zemlin's performance, it was moving and beautiful and tragic. And seeing Cassius reunite with her, you could tell their love for each other was true. You could tell that a day never passed that he didn't cross her mind. And Cassius, the whole world melted away when he saw her. I don't know what to feel. I want to be happy for him, of course I do. The impossible just happened for them. They have each other again. But we know what she's capable of. Just look at Cyprian. Even though I know it's right and they deserve to be together, I can't help but worry. What will she do to us? Or to me, once she finds out what I've done to the person she loves more than anything?
All right, and we are back. So, little did you all know, before we get into tonight's episode, it's time for our alignment assignments and card facings, which means this is the first episode of Arc 5. So, Arc 4 had a bit of a soft ending, more emotional, with Cassius reuniting with Risen, or as she is known now, as Zemlin Brayfire. So, for those of you who are new on our stream, this is something that we like to do on our own homebrew games. It might be a little bit different for you all at home. Our players, instead of rigidly kind of conforming to an alignment that they choose, they play their character naturally and channel in their backstory, their thoughts and feelings. Because in the real world, people change over time based on the decisions that they make, character growth, character development, things that interact with them in the world, and things that happen to them. So therefore, at the end of each story arc, I assign them an alignment based on how I feel each player's playing their character. And again, it's not rigid. They aren't forced to play that alignment by moving forward. It's simply a fun little outsider opinion that I give my players as I've seen them make their decisions as they've played. So, let's start with Finalai. Finalai played numerous pranks in his arc, including the pranks he carried out on Endius and Palai with Esperis, but of course, Finn's most defining moment was when he used Modify Memory on Cassius and changed a huge plot point in our story here on Fate's End. Therefore, it should come as to no surprise to see that he has shifted from neutral good to chaotic good.
Yeah, chaos!
Through and through, his tarot is still upright, forever faithful, hopeful, optimistic, and viewing the world and the events around him with clarity. Finalai as the star. Samson. Samson continues to be a major support for the rest of the members of the party. The Chariot. He continues to respond to various individuals of authority brashly and belittling in nature. We saw this with Rue and Tredillion, and just about everyone he usually comes into contact with. Samson knows best, even when others don't agree with him, so he believes. Samson, of course, is willing to get his hands dirty when the occasion calls for it. Thus, he could not let the ship near Sunbask Isle go free and blew the hull to J.V. Jones' locker. For all these reasons, Samson continues to remain neutral good. In regards to his tarot card, he of course continues to be upright. Esperis. You continue to involve yourself in situations that you aren't accustomed to, specifically more pranks with Finalai. Esperis has kept herself locked up for so long within the shadow of what she believes she should do and should feel. This mask that she wears. Do we really even know the real you, Esperis? Does anyone? But she has finally started taking baby steps to tell people how she feels. And we saw this very briefly with Latern after Finalai told everyone what he had done to Cassius, and she was very, I would say, curt in her response. However, she continues to skirt the line, and I'm interested in seeing if she will finally take the mask off after 2-3 arcs now. For all these reasons, I believe that Esperis is still lawful neutral, but the person behind the mask, well, we all know that they have a different alignment entirely. In regards to her card, she remains reversed. She resists change, she is immobile, and she refuses to face a great many things. Ludiny, 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 boodiny, boo. Boodly, boodly, boo. Latern has had many major reveals in this arc. Most memorable include the Swindle twins and the secret that Levi raised him. His mother had died, Levi had kept letters from his real father from him, and his brother Logan was a complete illusion. He learned that through everything, his fate had come to pass to save the world. The dominoes had to fall just as they had, or the world would burn. And when he learned Cassius's mind had been altered, His one chance of an ally against the V, the one he hates most, he was furious. The question was asked if you had the choice, knowing that what you had to give up would save the world, knowing that you had to live through that to save the world, would you make that sacrifice? And his answer was no. He would rather die along with the world. Therefore, I deem Latern once more has shifted back to lawful evil. In regards to his tarot card, he continues to be reversed. The devil, reversed, lends itself to detachment and the exploration of dark thoughts. Therefore, that is Latern. Praeria. I love Christian just like, yeah! Praeria. You have sold poisons on the street. Engorged yourself on sweets. And without hesitation, you gave up your dearest memory, no questions asked. You continue to be unpredictable in every regard except the one thing that anchors you and drives you. That is your family. You are driven by your own desires and impulses without thinking too much ahead, and therefore you remain chaotic neutral. In regards to your tarot card, you're upright. As we approach this arrival into the Feywild and the deals made with Samir, I can only imagine that Praeria spends most of her time thinking of her family and what the future will bring, what the first step into her ancient homeland will feel like. The Hermit upright means soul-searching, introspection, and inner guidance. And those are all your alignment assignments, everyone. Whew. I told this man he was lawful evil. I'm just going back, looking at the chat. Oh man. So fun little thing for us to dive into. So. But now we're going to dive back into the session as we pull back into the Votra aria after this beautiful, just absolutely moving performance. And you're all escorted back to Zemlin's private chambers as the show kind of comes to an end. Samson, I'm guessing you eventually return, or are you just kind of gone for this entire event?
Nah, I'm out. I'm done.
Okay.
I left. I think the only people that were there it was Latern, it was Finn, it was Prey.
Everyone except you and Esperise.
Mm-hmm.
Esperise is not there as well. So you're all escorted back to Zemlin's private chambers, and you watch as she walks into this room. As she places kind of a long shawl over her luminous skin, wrapping it around her waist. In her dressing room, the entire ceiling, you see colored glass bottles hanging from the ceiling all next to each other. And there are candles in each of the bottle spouts, some lit and some snuffed out. And you see a tall mirror kind of leans against the wall, and on top of, it's sitting kind of on top of a boudoir desk. The mirror, though, it's not a full, complete mirror. It's actually a very large shard of a cracked, larger mirror. And it's just kind of like leaning against the wall because doesn't have any hinges to attach it. Her dressing room is very large with a plush bed enshrouded in bright jewel complementary colored gossamer curtains. And you can see wisteria pouring in from the ceiling. And you see two sets of stairs, one that leads up and another that leads down.
Wow, this is really unexpected.
Is Cassius in here?
Oh, yes, of course Cassius is here. He's like standing right next to her, and he's not left her side.
We didn't think any of the Celestis that were still, living.
She watches your lips as you speak, and you watch as she grabs a necklace from her boudoir and kind of puts it on and she begins to sign, and you see like lips kind of form like within the necklace, and you begin to hear just kind of a voice kind of speak out. And she says, "Many of us are thought to be dead. I mean, it's been thousands of years. You would be right to think that way."
Have you been here waiting for Cassius all this time?
I've long thought that Cassius has been gone. He's dead. I'm quite in shock, actually. I have so many questions. And she looks at Cassius, and Cassius just kind of brushes a hand against her cheek and smiles, and he signs back to her, basically telling her that he has so much to tell her, and he missed her terribly.
And how many of you are there left?
She looks back, and she says, "Just me and now Cassius."
Insight check.
Sure, go ahead.
That is a 17.
With your 17, you gather she's being truthful, but there's more to it than that.
Okay.
There's like she's leaving some things out.
Okay.
Well, I guess if you don't mind, we came here to actually talk to you.
Please do. I must know how is he even here? How did this even come to pass? I have so many questions. And so at this point, for the sake of time, and what all do you tell or what do you leave out? Do you tell her everything about you going to the slumbering vaults and you bringing Cassius back to life? You tell her about Cyprian. What all, like, do you leave anything out?
I imagine we would leave out that last part where we changed his memory. At least for right now, I would assume that would be the case.
Until it becomes apparent. Okay.
Or until we can get him out of the room. But everything else, I imagine, right? Luden and Prey, we'd probably tell her everything.
I'd go all the way up to as soon as we got into Dawn's Rise. And then I wouldn't say, and then Luden wouldn't say anything else. I think that's where he would stop.
Zemlin, like, the entire time.
Okay.
Insight checking. Quiet.
Y'all tell her all the Cyprian stuff?
Well, yeah. And, I mean, the only reason we came here in the first place is because Cyprian mentioned you in one of his letters.
When you begin mentioning Cyprian and then you say that, like, her face just pulls into this angry expression. And you can kind of, with your passive insight, you can see, like, her teeth are kind of clenched and, like, her muscles tense up a little bit. Like, there is hatred for this person when you bring Cyprian up.
I know you guys don't get along.
Don't get along? Like, she begins to sign very quickly, and, like, the movements of her signing, it's almost like a battle language. Like, it's very intense. And she, you hear this kind of loud and angry voice coming from her necklace. "He betrayed me. He betrayed us all, and I should have known better. Unless Lady Viscartha is destroyed, she will forever be his master. When I was young and naive, I knew little about vampires. It wasn't until it was too late that I understood the spawn master vampires create are all under their control. And he made a deal with her that rewarded him with immortality. And unfortunately, immortality doesn't cure naivety. He attempted to take advantage of her for power, ignorant to the control that he gave her. And the more powerful we became as we adventured, the more we learned. We began to question him about his past, about his rebirth, and he told us about Lady Viscareth, how she made him, and we of course were concerned. But he assured us, she had no hold over him, that he was here with us, that he was making decisions of his own volition. I'm sure that he has told you many things.
He has, a little bit.
And you trust him?
Yes, I do.
Finn does. I don't think we have the power to stop him even if we didn't trust him, so...
He is the very reason why Ema, Brim, and Taya are dead.
Did he kill them?
Brim was murdered. Her face kind of sinks. And she relaxes a little bit, but it's more from grief. Her body was found on the road east of the crossing, mutilated. And Taya went missing. And Ema was found far south of New Reach at a watch post, impaled with an immovable rod to the watch post. Some wine glasses were found nearby covered with Ema's blood.
And do you think that it was Cyprian's now master that did this?
Of course. She controls him. He grew close to all of us, grew close to Cassius, leached his way into all of our lives until he destroyed us.
Well...
Ema could sense the stench of death upon him. We found him when it was only 5 of us. We were investigating strange killings, a trail of dead animals, rabbits, elk, foxes. And these killings were getting close to a small hamlet in northeastern Aurora. And we were hired to look into it. And after a local went missing, it turns out Cyprian was behind the killings and the missing local. He'd been feeding on the animals. I believe that he killed the miller as well.
But you're not certain?
He was... It looked as if he had been mutilated and mauled. Killed by animals, wolves. But what is not an animal than Cyprian? And Cassius saw something in him. He was brought into this group. At this point, as she speaks about Cyprian and saying all these things, you notice that, you notice with your passive perception, Latern, and I believe, Ben, you would probably notice too, Cassius just kind of like, he's kind of looking out a window and his eyes just kind of glaze over.
Well, I assume... Now that we've explained that Cyprian still wants to speak to Cassius, how do you feel about that?
You would have to be mad to let him speak.
Again, it's more, how can we stop him? He is a Celesticet after all. And I am only human.
I don't know everything that's happened in the past between all of you. But I do know that Cyprian cares about Cassius. I know it. I could see it.
She just kind of like shakes her head and kind of rolls her eyes and... It's not that you could do anything anyways. Even if he wanted to talk to him, he can't.
But we can.
Why so?
I'm not going to tell you. I don't want you to undo the things that I've done.
You don't think Cassius deserves a say in this? Don't you love him?
I do love him, and it is the very reason that I've done this to Cyprian, so that he could be safe. Cyprian is a liar, vindictive, naive, immature. I don't wish for Cassius to go missing once more.
Why don't you just be there when he talks to him?
You think he has that kind of power over him?
I do. If he was able to kill 2 of my friends and the third, which I don't even know where she is. Taya, she disappeared. Before Cassius even died, I never heard from her again. I cast so many sending messages. I had scries performed, nothing. Last I heard, she said she was near Fulcrum. And I was surprised she was in Aurora. She said after everything that had happened with Cassius's death that she needed some time to herself to mourn.
She could still be out there. You thought Cassius was dead too, but he wasn't really. Not completely.
He was turned to stone.
Right. And she's missing.
She's mortal.
Are you not all immortal?
No, of course not.
Guys,
Brim
all been
wasn't
living for
mortal.
thousands of
Taya
years.
wasn't mortal. I am because of what I am.
And what are you?
I am Fey-touched. Archfey, Fey-touched.
So at this point, with her saying that, and Esperie saying she is the same thing that I am, way back when, would we be able to make that connection that Esperie is Fey Touch? Because she's definitely never told Luden.
I don't know if you would. I don't know how
Okay.
much Esperise has told you.
Nah.
Samson isn't. Yeah, I don't think you would. Samson would
On the
probably
other
be the
hand-
closest.
This is outside of the woman in the tower. This is the only other person you've seen with very
Yeah.
long ears and dragonfly wings. So
Okay, I was just wondering, like, how
I would.
how the Luden would be.
They have similar features, but
Cool.
It's hard
If
to
it's
know.
a jump, he would make it. Well, all that being said, if Cyprian comes back to us again, what do you expect us to do? He does say that does really think that he can talk to Cassius now.
Cassius will stay here with me, of course.
Ha. Down to the meat and bones of things.
What would you be willing to do to keep him here with you?
I haven't seen him. I thought he was dead. I would do anything for him.
At this point, Priori just kind of looks very pointedly at Finn.
There's other stuff we want to talk with you about too. But preferably privately.
How is Cassius looking? Is he still glazed?
I was about. Well, yeah, it's hard to. It's hard to have play two people at the same time.
So
So
just like pick him up and put him outside for a second.
so
As we usually do.
Cassius knows about the Seven. Cassius knows about the threat, and he is on your side. So he kind of walks over to Zemlin and kind of takes her hands in his and places them on his face, and he begins to sign back to her. Although you're not sure what he's saying, for the audience's sake, I will tell you, he's basically telling her about the Seven and explaining that through the will of the Pantheon and the great god Levi, we have to protect this world. And we can't just sit here and wait for the world to end. Because what kind of life can we have, the life that we dreamed of, if it's gone? The home that we planned to build together. And you kind of watch her expression, and she looks confused for a moment, and then her eyes pan from Cassius to you all. And
Luda's gonna just do a little thing over to Finn. I'm not taking none of this.
Yeah, with your passive insight, you definitely gather. I mean, with your passive insight, what's your passive investigation?
Let me see.
Sign language can be discernible. Ludin, when you see this, I'm fairly certain this means God.
Oh yeah, I know God in all languages.
Yeah. There's some words that are like, cause like me, you know, there are some things that you can kind of like figure out in your head when you're watching someone do sign language. And so you probably gather that's God, and so you probably start to piece together a little bit what the conversation is a little bit about at this point. And Finn, what would you say that you're passive?
11.
Okay, yeah. No. But she kind of looks at you, and she begins to sign back to Cassius, and she goes, who is this Levi? What do you mean, the god Levi?
Semlin?
Does the necklace translate that? Can we hear
yes,
that?
Like she's
cool.
wearing it. She's only wearing it for you guys because she knows that you guys don't know sign language. And she has it for moments like this.
I didn't know if she could control when it did things, because she probably wouldn't need to use it for Cassius. But
oh, she wouldn't. But
be here.
Semlin, if you could maybe, we wanted to talk with you. And then Semlin hears in her mind, privately, please. She hears that in her mind.
Do you say anything else?
I have some things to tell you, and really important things. And I want to trust you with them, but we have to do it privately.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm bad at those. All right.
Good when it counts.
I know it's oh gosh.
Roll divine intervention.
Oh my god, really? 19?
There you go.
19.
Listen, you roll good when you count.
That's not true at all.
That is exactly. Oh my god, that is so true, Danny.
She looks to you and back to Cassius. And she just kind of like embraces him and holds him for a moment. And she signs to him, and you hear this, of course, with her necklace. Love, would you like to see Brim? Brim sleeps beneath the Aria. Brim always said their home was with us. So I buried them beneath the Aria, with remnants of their home. And Cassius's eyes just kind of light up for a moment, but then there's just a very sad glint, and he quietly nods, and she will escort Cassius down the steps, and she'll just kind of look at you, kind of like signaling she'll be right back, and she'll go down the steps with Cassius. And there is a moment here to talk to each other right before she comes back, if you need to.
We're really gonna do this, right? Really gonna tell her? I mean, we kind of have to, right?
Cassius kind of already has.
Because if we don't tell her, she could remove it. That would be really, really bad.
She could still choose to remove it.
That's true. But we have to trust that she won't, right? Because she really, really loves him. And we really, really love him. And it's like a similar cause.
She wants to keep him however she can. But is this him?
Yes. It's more him than before. You felt that, didn't you?
We don't know that.
It's the him I like better.
That I don't doubt.
Yeah, there's that good alignment jumping out. Yeah.
Chaotic good. Chaotic, though. Emphasis on the chaotic.
Luden just goes and stands by the wall, crosses his arms, just waits.
You begin to hear footsteps as she makes her way back up the steps. And she looks at you all and she goes, "Please do explain." Like, she begins to sign, "Please do explain." What has swayed my Cassius to leave Vera? An oath that he swore with his very life.
Why, Levi?
To Levi.
Oh, yes, Levi has swayed it.
It
is. Right, Sam.
This oath also led him to where we found him. Just a note.
It's a really long story, but I guess we can try and make it shorter. We don't have you all day. Cassius told you about the 7, and we told you about the 7, right?
Yes.
How do you feel about that?
So at this point, based on, as you kind of explain things, and you begin to tell her that Cassius was on the side of the 7.
I was going to explain that afterwards.
Oh.
Yeah.
I do not wish this place to be destroyed. I don't wish that upon any plane of existence, and there is so much pain and suffering and wrath that the 7 bring.
Do you think it's right that we're trying to stop them?
Yes, of course.
So will you let... She just kind of looks at Finn and then says, "Will you let our decision stand then?"
Their decision stand.
How do you feel about the fact that Cassius was the one to try and raise the 7 through Vera's power?
Seven pieces of Vera. He was trying to bring her back. She just kind of like begins to sort this out in her mind. He is devoted. It's one of the things I loved about him. She looks sad. It's the one thing that I know he would never break. Even with all the love that he felt for me, he would never break an oath to Vera. And
he didn't. I did. I broke that oath on his behalf. Because Cassius is kind and compassionate. And he's all the things that you love about him. But that one thing, that devotion, could be the thing that brings the world down. And if I have to take that fall, then I will. I know what it's like to be devoted to your God and to have to do questionable things. But he doesn't have to take that responsibility.
Do you tell Zemlin how Cassius died?
Yes.
So it still is revealed to her that it is actually Cyprian's fault. That he made a deal. Just clarifying.
Yes.
Okay.
But the way Finn would, I think, kind of at the end of that story cover, like, he was crying and he looked so sorry, and he's still sorry. He really is. He wants more than anything to apologize to Cassius, but Cassius doesn't know who he is.
It doesn't sound like it was what he wanted. As you said, he might still be a little naive.
I was angry. I met one of his siblings and they spoke of mother's favorite. How she always saw through her children's eyes, and that they thanked me for being so warm and welcoming to their brother, and that they sent their condolences. He betrayed us and he lied to us, and when I found out that he had been a pawn the entire time, I cursed him. I was so angry and I was so hurt. He took the one thing that I loved more than anything in this world away from me. Cassius is a good soul, and I wouldn't have him spreading more lies and hurting anyone else. I cast a wish, and I told him that he was dead to all of us. And I wished for him to spend the rest of his days invisible, unreachable, and voiceless to all of the Celesta set. I told him, only a true friend may allow you to speak with us, but he would find that he has no friends, and that he never will. I cannot look him in their face. I cannot. It is still his fault.
Zemlin. Although I disagree with almost 100% of the way Finn feels on almost every sentiment. Just because you feel this way does not mean that Cassius feels this way. And if you say that you love Cassius the way that you love Cassius, I feel that you should let him have one decision, as Finn has taken away a huge core of himself. Albeit I can see Finn's point of wanting it to be for the good of the world. And believe me, I hate Levi so much. But in the grand scheme of things, I ask that you give Cassius at least this one decision, to speak with Cyprian. I'm sure you can tell Cassius how you feel about Cyprian. I'm sure it might sway him one direction or another, but choice, in my opinion, is one of the most important things that anyone can have. And Levi took mine away about 17 years ago. I pray you don't make the same mistake that he did.
Hot damn, Christian, roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Woo!
Oh,
I'm disconnected. Oh no!
That is a natural 20. Oh man.
Okay, I'm back. I disconnected.
You got an nat 20 while you were disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, nat
Daddy.
20.
It was a nat 20 quality speech, though. So.
It was. It really, really was. And like, yeah, I was like, you had advantage on that, but you rolled a 20. She looks at you, tears in her eyes, and she says, she signs, "I cannot keep him a prisoner. You're right. Just so afraid of losing him. You have no idea what it feels like to live thousands of years without the one thing that you love more than anything else. Part of your soul." Oh my god, Daniel. Daniel, Jesus. Not when I'm monologuing, Daniel. Bring it back. And I do love him. I love him so much. But you're right. I'm not his keeper. I'm not his warden. He would never do what I'm doing to him. I've let fear lead me for too long. And perhaps the punishment now rests more on Cassius's shoulders more than it does on Cyprian's. Although my intent was much more to punish Cyprian. You need only grant permission. Since you are a friend, and I grant you that permission. You both feel, all three of you, feel like there's some sort of like tickling like butterfly in your stomach and some sort of like magic energy that has been passed on. A baton of sorts has been passed on to you. And if you were so to give permission, Cyprian would be able to speak and hear, and Cassius would be able to see him.
Thank you, Zimlin. Thank you.
And
Go ahead, Finn.
oh, go ahead.
Just gonna say, that being said, we do have two other friends. One specifically who would definitely want Cassius to be some other place, but in my opinion, if Cassius wants to stay, let him.
Well, why don't you come with us for a while? I mean, just to Saltstone. It's pretty private there.
I want nothing more than to spend every waking moment next to him.
Come
It's
along.
Been far too long.
But before that, you do understand why we did what we did. What I did. He looks at Ludin.
Yeah,
What I did.
At him again.
I do. And I will admit I am still at war with it. I'm not quite sure what to think. It is a bit of a moral conundrum. Because just as I am releasing Cassius of a wish, a curse that I put upon Cyprian, it almost feels as though he is cursed now. And although it is for the greater good, it pains me to see that a piece of him is altered this way. But I understand why.
Just give us time.
I do
We
think
will handle what we can, and then we can revisit. Yes?
my thoughts exactly. that he cannot stay this way forever. I would not have him stay this way forever. But the 7 must be handled first. Only then we free him.
We
Oh
do
my god.
whatever-
We kill him.
Maybe.
No.
I'm saying it.
Absolutely not.
No,
No.
because
No.
you'd be like,
No.
"Fiddle,
Shut
I can't believe you
down.
betrayed me this way. Smite. So we wait until we're level 20 before we do it. That's all, okay?
We do what we can,
Anyway,
Zemlin, to protect the ones we love.
Thank you, Zemlin.
This interaction did not go as
If you would like to come with us, we will be leaving soon. Probably tonight. I know that doesn't give you much time to gather your things. But somehow I feel that you have everything you've ever wanted in the world right now, so. With that, I am going to take my leave. And I guess I'll see you later. I'll go alert the rest of the party what's happened here.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'll fetch. I'll go. I'm going to go spend some very much needed time with Cassius. He's visiting an old friend right now.
Perfect.
Please, if I could ask one request,
Anything?
no one else knows that Brim Zevdana Vignaway rests beneath this church. I do not wish the grave to be a spectacle coming to visit one of the 7. It is a private place, if you would keep that to yourself.
Already forgotten.
We have no one to tell.
Thank you. I appreciate that. If you excuse me, I do...
Zemlin, real quick, did you and Cassius ever have, children? Kids?
I did. He was gone long before I could tell him. But I haven't yet to tell him yet. How did you know?
Oh, I don't know. I was just curious. I think he'd like to know that. Maybe.
She eyes you, knowing you're lying.
Yeah, no, it's very obvious.
It's obvious that you're lying without, there's no role for that.
You should ask him about it.
Ferraria's hitting her head on the wall.
Eluded's eyebrow is just all the way up, really?
Right.
Zemlin, we'll see you in a couple of hours. Go spend time with Cassius.
The not seeing him for that long, she kind of brushes it off, but it's still there. It's still there. And she just kind of just sees herself down the stairs and just leaves you guys.
Have fun.
All right.
Okay, that went a lot better than we were planning, right? Wow, okay. We're actually pretty good at this.
Luden's gonna walk out and start looking for Samson.
And follows Luden.
And you were the one that really convinced her, Luden. That was great. Cyprian will have to thank you next time when we see him.
Doesn't that make you happy?
I have to tell him in my
owes
next.
you something.
Yeah, I'll tell him in my next letter. I'll put you by name.
Samson!
So while all this was happening, I turned into Sadbird and went out the window, and I'm gonna fly back to Arete's house, and I'm gonna go break into Esperice's room. And are Finn and Esperice sharing a room again, or no?
No.
No.
we
Okay.
have our
So
own, we have our own separate room.
all right, I'm gonna break into Finn's room first, and I'm gonna get the. I think who has the lyre? Does Finn have the lyre?
I guess, since old man Brigsby gave it to it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna break into Finn's room first. I'm gonna get the lyre, and then I'm gonna take the ring that the guy gave me as a replica, and I want to try to like hide it in Finn's bag somehow. Like
Wait,
I want to
so-
like hide it inside the lining of Finn's bag.
You're hiding the replica
Yeah, the replica.
in Finn's bag.
Yep.
Okay.
But secretly, so like it couldn't be found by anything outside of like magical means.
Okay.
So like
I'm really
I
excited
basically
to see what this is.
I
Yeah, I
basically
don't know where this is going. I'm
like
very
I basically
interested.
like cut open like a side pocket where
Could
there's
just
like
probably
a couple
drop it
layers.
in. There's a lot of
Yeah.
crap in it.
No, I'm Samson's far too meticulous. So like I cut like a little slit in the side, put the ring between like the lining, and like magically or sew it right back up. So it's like nothing's there. Put the ring in, take the lyre, and then go back to Esperisa's room. Then I go lay on Esperisa's bed and play the lyre while I wait for her to return.
Yeah. I mean, Lauren, do you have anything to say to that before Esprit comes back?
Okay, so you put the fake lyre in Finn's bag and a ring?
I put the fake ring
Okay.
in Finn's bag, and then I took the real lyre.
Okay. You put the fake. Okay. When you touch the lyre, Samson, you hear in your mind,
What do you want me to play? I'm sorry, I do not wish to play anything happy. You're my new owner now, so...
It's okay. I can play it a little bit. Is that all right?
I guess. There's no use to anything anymore. Everyone just wants a pretty song.
it's very sad.
It's a somber lyre.
It's very sad and somber.
I will never see my home again. I will never see Siginko Tree.
Oh my god, it sounds like Esprit, but it talks like Samson.
I mean, I tried not to talk to the sad lyre, and I take it back to Esperisa's room. I put my feet on her headboard and I play it poorly, right? Like
Yeah, you're not proficient in lyre playing.
I'm not proficient in lyre playing, but I'm 1,000 years old. I picked up an instrument or two.
I play hot cross buns.
No, like I know I know the same 4 chords, you know? I mix them all together, like I pretend that I know what I'm doing. But I do it as a fae, so it sounds amazing, obviously. And then I just wait.
You're gonna be the one that saves me.
Fae Wonderwall is going on.
Oh my god.
It's great.
Yeah, after not too long, probably, I had my whole picnic. I don't know how long you were there, but after a period of time, it makes sense. Esprit will come back into her room. She's got... Essentially, she definitely heard that you were in there because you are playing the lyre in her bedroom. And she's got her arms full of like some kind of leather bag stuff and another canvas bag over her shoulder. She comes in. Hi, Samson. You're back very early.
Oh yeah. It turns out I don't like Zemlin very much, so I was like, let me get out of there. Did you know she was an archfey?
Yes, I did. Could you scoot over for a minute? I need this a little bit.
Yeah, I've just turned sideways on the bed, still laying down.
Esprit will lay out essentially like tons of little glass vials that have like oils and little dried flower petals in them. It's essentially an herbalism kit that she got from the perfume workshop of her dad's that she's rolling up and getting packed so that they're ready to leave tonight. Yeah, I knew that she was like me. I thought that I had shared that. I'm so sorry if I didn't. My mind is
Yeah, you probably did. I just missed it. Because I wasn't paying that much attention. Anyway.
Understandable. Actually, I was hoping to have the chance to talk to you. If you have a moment, I don't mean to interrupt if you have.
Yeah, I've got time.
It depends on what we are imagining tonight with Symphonia, whether it is we give her the lyre, which is that you are playing right now. If you think, is it just going to be directly that we go to the orchard after this, or do we have more time to prepare? What is the window that you are thinking that might be?
It's hard to know for sure. I know that if I know anything about Symphonia, I know she'll want to execute the deal as soon as possible. That's the only thing I knew about her back then, So I think we ought to be prepared to leave immediately, but if she gives us the opportunity, we might leave the next day, or if she's busy, it'll be in the hour. I don't really know. But we should be prepared either way.
Yes,
Backing.
Okay, so good to know. So in that case, I think it might be, I wanted to ask a little bit about strategy, I suppose. This is very much your sort of project that you are spearheading for Prearia. Prearia, of course, is also a vital part of it. But you and I both know that I might have a certain kind of relationship with members who might be at the orchard. So I wanted to talk to strategize about what kind of role you might want me to take. Is it useful to Prearia and your project if I step forward and speak with them, or am I better stay back, or maybe just at the edge? Maybe I'm not part of it at all. What do you think is the best in terms of accomplishing our goals?
Oh, you're talking about Alvarez, yeah? Or
yes,
like talking about to all the big people.
The big. I don't know exactly how many people are going to be there, but the only relationship I have is with Alvarez.
Yeah, so Alvaro's probably not in charge. He's not exactly a big time player where we're from. He's a very, very young fae, so even just on seniority, he's probably not in charge. He's probably just around. So if you're looking to leverage that relationship for Prearia, it's probably not entirely hopeful. Plus, then again, Prearia's blood's going to speak for itself, so it doesn't really matter too much, But I would definitely suggest that you probably talk to him,
What is the possibility that maybe we don't see him at all? Is that a possibility? Maybe he's just very quiet. Blind.
We can make sure that he doesn't see you.
No,
if that's what you want.
No. You don't have to do anything like that. I don't.
You seem nervous.
Do I? Sorry.
Yes.
That was a joke.
Yeah, it was great. It was a great joke. Fantastic.
Hey. When I'm back in Prearia's home, I think I told you, or her family's old home, there was the shard that you found that let you have a memory of the Feywild, and apparently I have met Avril before, but I don't remember it. I don't, unless there is something strategic that I could say to him, or something that would advance our goals as a group. I don't know what to say to him.
Well, meeting people that you haven't seen in quite a long time is always difficult, as you could probably imagine. It happens quite a lot where I'm from. You meet someone, and then 100 years go by, then you see him again, and it's hard. It's hard because it's like you're familiar, but you're not. Because people change. Everyone always changes over time. They become new people and all of that. So, I know you saw the memory, and he was in it, I guess. So, do you remember anything about him then?
He was a baby. I was a baby. I mean, he was a toddler, whatever a toddler of a fae would be. He was very nice to me as a baby. I just don't know if... I don't know if he remembers me at all. And I don't know if he would expect anything from me.
I am not fortunate enough to have family. There is no one who shares in the same bloodline as me. And where I'm from, I'm not that rare. So for people to have blood in Fae is a gift. And so I'm certain Avril remembers you. And so you should certainly go talk to him. You should certainly... There aren't a whole lot of things in life worth coming back around for, you know, because once you've seen one thing, you've kind of seen it all. But blood kind of is. And whether it helps Priori or not, I think it's be good for you.
It's much harder to do things that are only good for you.
Well, it's good for Avril too. Imagine if you were Esperis, a world where you're not in it, then everything for everyone is a little bit darker. And so by simply existing and being in Avril's life, everything about his world will brighten. So perhaps that is the best move.
That is very sweet. That was very sweet, Samson. I think it's one of the most earnest that I've ever seen you. There was no layer of irony or...
I only know how to... The closer I get back to Faye, the less I can lie. It's terrible, in fact. But
oh, that's exciting. I forgot about that. Is it going to be in the orchard too? Are you going to just have to say what's actually true the whole time?
I think it's gonna come back slowly. But once we get back there, for sure, it's gonna be really, really hard. So what I would also recommend, highly recommend, take what you knew from him before and see if you can find anything else that you remember. Anything about him from the first time, because it's a very unique opportunity. Because people change all the time, but there are some things that never change, no matter how old someone is, when you met them in their life or anything like that. So if you can identify anything about him before that he still has now, that's something that will probably never change about him, no matter what happens to him. So maybe try to figure out what that is. Be worth your time to do so.
For what it's worth, Samson, I do think you have a family. You know.
I have been around a very long time. If I did, I'm sure they would have found me by now.
No. I think it's pretty posh because I think you could reasonably say that the Queen of the Gloaming Court considers you part of her family.
That is a stretch.
You don't have to think about it now. I'm just saying it's an option.
That is quite the stretch.
Yeah.
Quite the stretch. We'll find out. We'll see. I don't even know if she's gonna give me my old body back or not. She hasn't even said that. Like,
have you asked?
No. Why would I? You can't ask anything of a queen. Are you joking?
I'll ask her.
I'll ask her.
I don't respect the fake court at all, so I'll ask her for you.
That sounds appropriate.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I heard him. I think everybody's back. Yeah.
I'm stuffing the last of my stuff into my suitcase, and we are checking out to see where everybody is.
For the first time, I'm like, oh, Esperis had stuff out. Okay.
Samson! Esperis!
Then like, As you guys arrive back at House Arete, Finali, you walk through the front door, and Luden and Prayaria falling behind you, and you hear a familiar voice in your head once more. Last time you heard this voice, you were much more drunk. Finalastras, we need you home at once. Please come home. I miss you. We all miss you. With your high passive insight, Finali, you can tell she sounds a little desperate.
So, as they're walking in, Luden, are you going towards Samson and Esperi's, like the hallway where all the bedrooms and stuff are?
Yeah. I mean, why wouldn't I?
Okay, so Finn's following you towards there, and as we're doing that, Finn kind of stops. He freezes real quick, and his eyes get really big. He's like, "Mom, and he says this out loud, so you hear him saying this. So he goes, "Mom,
We're just gonna keep walking, not touching that. Nope.
I can't. I told you I can't. I met my real dad. His name is O'Rune Thorn, and he remembers you. And I have a new god."
And it stops at and.
No!
It stops at and. That's 25.
Okay. He's still walking.
Oh God.
Literally judging,
Finalastras, your father, he is dying. Your father here. Surely you won't be so cold as to not say goodbye to him. Please come home.
Tell him I love him. He's dying. Mom. Where do the dead go when they die?
Luden is so confused.
Still out loud? Still out loud. We're just
on our island. If I have some left, how many do I have left?
Is that it? You don't get a response back.
Mom!
It's a lot of sending for one day. Where do the dead go when they die? On our island! Oh wait, those are syllables. On our island. There we go.
Yeah,
I think
let me clarify.
I was doing syllables there for a couple. Don't
So
nobody
she's not
go back and
playing
watch that.
Okay.
Luden will look at Finn.
Barry's
About
also
to start. And then he'll just keep going. He's just like, it's always something different with this kid. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna do this thing first. And he's gonna start heading towards. Is the lyre still playing, or am I just still screaming, Samson?
The lyre is always playing, even when it's not being held. It's just this very sad, depressed ballad.
I got you.
You can hear the lyre coming from Esperisa's room.
It's
you play the lyre?
It's basically playing the intro song of Up when the old man's wife dies.
Oh my God.
That's what it's playing. Do 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 do.
Luden will knock on Esperisa's door and he'll be like, "Hey, are you okay? I mean, I know you didn't go to the show." But...
And you'll see Samson lying down with the thing on his chest. Hey.
Oh,
Hello.
we can talk later if y'all are. Okay.
No,
yeah.
no. That's absolutely
Okay, let's.
fine.
Are they both in there?
Oi!
Oh, hey,
Come
Samson.
on. Yeah, come on in.
Okay, I'll go sit in the bed.
Anyway.
Squeezes his butt between Esperance and Samson.
Where did you go, Samson?
In here. What does it look
I
like
guess
I went?
that's true. But why did you leave?
I just didn't like the show. A little bit too much.
Well,
very melodramatic.
I'm sure you can give Zemlin some notes as she is coming with us.
Oh. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's not letting Cassius go.
She's not letting Cassius go. Yeah, she's not letting it go alone. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Right.
we're gonna drop them off at Saltstone. Whenever we get there.
She
So,
understands the situation, and she will give us time before she considers a new situation.
yes.
Can someone elaborate for me did they fall in love during the show or something? What is
Apparently, they've been in love for thousands of years. Zemlin thought Cassius was dead. He was technically. Then he saw the show, and you can imagine how great it was. Just watching. So.
Yeah. So Zemlin, same Celesta set from before, which is good. It's actually very interesting for a number of reasons.
Yeah.
It was odd, though. When I asked her how many were left, she said they believed most of them to be dead. The world, that is.
And she seemed
Which
to
means
be.
that she knew about Cyprian, but did not tell us at the time until we told her that we knew about him.
There's a lot of things.
Does it sound like we're gonna have to kill Cyprian, or no?
No, of course not. Why?
Could you elaborate? What did Zemlin say about Cyprian?
We're not going to have to kill Cyprian because there's no reason to.
Samson,
Zemlin.
I will say we're going to definitely need to be cautious around Cyprian, and I am, for once, not taking that off the table. That in the event that Cyprian's master orders him to, I don't know, eliminate us with the whole fiasco with Micah, we might have to kill him. Otherwise, Zemlin thinks Cyprian sucks, to put it
He's a
in the most
pawn,
blunt
and she
terms.
blames him, but she recognizes that he is only that.
Exactly.
Wait, so is it kind of like the same? Does I guess Cyprian's master have the same kind of power over him that one might also expect from someone like of my kind as well? Is it that same sort of situation where like Cyprian really doesn't have a choice in the matter?
Yeah, just like that.
Like it.
So we either kill Cyprian or we kill Lady Demise. One of those two.
I would say the latter, but if it comes to it, and we are
Lady
defending
Demise
ourselves.
seems like more of a threat in general. Like there is more that she could do. It's like taking the queen off the board instead of taking one of the pawns.
Yeah. It also seems like Lady Demise has been around for a minute, a very long time.
Also, Cyprian's our friend, and there's no reason we would kill him.
Yes, also that. Certainly.
But more importantly, I don't know if we could.
No, we definitely could. He's not that dangerous.
Okay.
You know what? It's a problem for another day. Is what it is. Did Zemlin say when she wanted to leave, or no?
I told her that we were leaving tonight. Unless things have changed, are we not leaving tonight?
No, we can leave. We can leave tonight. That's fine. Does anyone have a problem with that?
Ben looks very distracted, by the way. I just want to point that out.
There's not stopped looking at him since his very strange outbursts. Like, do you want to talk about it? Like, I don't.
I'm gonna go grab my stuff. I told them that they had a couple hours, so by the time we get back over there, I assume they will be ready to go. Do we need to do anything else before we leave? And he more looks over at Samson, because Samson's the one that does Fae.
No, I think we're fine. We should be good to go.
Okay.
Anything to the flower crowns or the offerings and things that we did at the Fae tree, or is this a much more casual?
I'm going to have to ask you all to keep your wits about you, because we're going to be walking into a bunch of people like me, and there's no amount of flower crown or charm that will keep you safe. So perhaps just keep your mind about you. You'll be all right.
At the mention of the Fae tree,
What does that even mean?
Lude's gonna go get all his arrows, and he's gonna put every one of them except like 30 iron arrows in the bag of holding. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got a bag of holding.
Yeah, he's gonna put all of them in there so that
Yes,
his
be as
arrowheads
threatening
don't
as possible, Luden.
He doesn't want his freaking arrows cut up again. So yeah, that's what he's gonna do. And continue the conversation, whatever we're having as he's doing that. Just
So when we get there, don't eat anything, don't drink anything, don't talk to anyone unless you really want to, or they seem really nice. If they seem too nice, definitely don't talk to them. Don't tell anybody yes to anything. Say maybe. Don't tell anybody your real name. Of course, I don't know if any of you have real names or not.
I'm going to lose Finn immediately.
Wait, what? I'm a little confused. What are we supposed to say?
Finn, you can say anything you want to anyone. Just don't say yes. And then don't eat any food that anyone gives you other than Praia or me.
But won't we get hungry?
Nope.
But it's like the best food ever, and we're not allowed to try it.
You know what? You can if you want.
What's that mean?
No, I don't.
Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you feel like it, go ahead. But don't. Don't
getting
rely.
Mixed messages.
Just don't.
I know you weren't. You're not getting mixed messages. I told you one thing. You said, "But Samson." That's all you did. No.
So don't say yes and don't eat anything.
Don't eat anything. Don't drink anything. Don't tell anybody yes to anything ever.
But we also cannot give them our names.
You don't really have a name, so...
Yes, I do. You know my name.
Oh, okay.
Do we know all of it?
Yeah. Kind of like Thorn.
Maybe just stick with Finn. That is all.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can tell people your name is Finn. That's fine.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. So I think that's where we're gonna go to our break right before we go to Symphonia's and head over to the Filigree Orchard and meeting Brandon's new character that we're gonna be introducing here.
Our new boy.
So very excited about that. We are gonna go to break and we will be back in just a minute, guys. See you in a little bit. Well, hello there. Of course you came to the grand dwarven city of Digbrand to see me. Ma Belle Pebblegrit, tale extraordinaire to kings, queens, heroes, and legends. Have you gazed upon my latest masterpieces? Yes, this one for you. Don't you see how it calls to you, speaks your name? You are gorgeous, darling. The colors, the line work, the gods weep in the presence of your beauty.
No one has looked more stunning in a pebble grit design. Please, I cannot bear to gaze upon your perfection for too long. You can find this mesmerizing merch at inkinliar.com. Go and unleash your fabulosity today and help support Ink and Liar. Do stop by my shop again. You simply must tell me about all that adventuring thing. Well, ta-ta, darling.
Extra, extra, read all about it!
What's that you've got there, mister?
Why, this right here is 9 Realms Gaming.
9 Realms Gaming?
That's right, top-notch gaming accessories made from some of the finest woods this side of the city has to offer. We got your dice vaults, we got your dice towers, dice trays, hero vaults, you name it.
Oh my!
Careful now, don't swoon into traffic. You can mosey on down to their website now. Use exclusive partner code LIAR10 to get 10% off your purchase.
What was that code again?
That's LIAR10. LYRE 10 at 9realmsgaming.com. Hurry, they're selling like hotcakes.
And we are back. All right, let's swap back over to the tea house here.
We just got a raid.
Did we just get a raid?
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you for the raid.
I do meaning.
Yeah, we're right back at it too.
Oh, wow.
Perfect timing.
Thank you, Dual Meaning, for the raid of 11. Let me shout you guys out in chat real quick. We just got back from break. We just got back. Boop. Shout out to Dual Meaning. Everyone raised a huzzah mug.
All right, let's be super quiet while Samson does all the freaking talking so that we don't get cursed or whatever.
All right. So, jumping back into our session here. Who's holding the lyre at the moment, by the way?
This
I
guy.
believe Samson is still
Samson?
lying on my bed playing the lyre, yeah.
Mhm.
Well, you're making your way to the tea house.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
picked up the other two.
We got the Bardo.
You're just walking down the street, and the lyre's just like, where are we going? Someplace dark, lonely. Do you say anything to the lyre?
I mean, it's an object. I'm used to them talking to me. I don't know.
I love it. The only person that wouldn't comfort the lyre is the one that has the lyre.
Yeah, I think this has happened before. I don't talk to objects, so I just.
It's so sad.
The only one.
And this is how it is. I mean, even when I am held, I am alone. Such is my life. I shall play.
Be nice to that liar right now.
I think E minor. E minor shall. Yes, that is the song
He's
of my
gonna be
soul.
happy in like 10 minutes because we're giving her back to
Yeah,
her
but
owner.
nobody
Like, she'll
told
be
the
fine.
lyre.
Now.
Nobody
She'll
told them.
be fine.
Well, the lyre is talking to us.
Can we
No.
hear
Lyre's
her?
talking to freaking Samson.
No, only the
Oh.
person holding it's telepathic.
Samson just likes misery. Misery loves company.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is kind of nice. Someone gets it. Like overwhelming sadness and despondence.
And so continues this new ballad in E minor that shifts, and it's just very depressing. And you return to Symphonia's tea house and enter and find her pruning her tree, tending to the courtyard garden. And as you kind of enter, she hears the twinkling strums of her lyre. And immediately her eyes light up, and she rushes over to you all, and she smiles brightly. And she will immediately grab the lyre from you, unless you hold it back.
Yeah, I'll give it to her.
She just takes it, and you watch as the branches of the like Samson, as you're holding it, is like,
This is kind of nice. This was the way.
oh my goodness, oh, and like it just cuts off sharply as Symphonia takes the lyre. It's very shrill and high. And the lyre, you watch as the branches of the ginkgo tree grow outward, wrapping over the building and down the sides. And she runs her fingertips across the strings, and the lyre grows 2 more small ginkgo tree branches as the music plays, and there's just a hush over the tea house. And you have heard nothing but sad, depressing music come from this lyre the entire time, but it is very, like, whimsical, and it reminds you of home, Samson. And everyone just quiets, looking over at Symphonia as she takes her lyre and gracefully sits beneath the branches of her tree and begins playing this whimsical tune. And it is a song that you're very familiar with, Samson, but one you hadn't heard in quite some time, an oldie, as it would be referred to. When she finishes, the tea house claps for her, and she stands up, walking over to you all, and she kind of looks over at Samson. Thank you for returning this to me. You have restored a part of me I feared I'd never see again, and you did so, it seems, without raising suspicions, at least none that I have heard yet.
Yeah, it's all really thanks to our gutter rat here. And I point at Finn.
Gutter rat?
I know.
What does this mean? What
Oh,
do you-
Mr. Lucidius Rudolpho Brigsby gave it to me. He bought it for us. Because he thought I was poor and peed on sofas. So I said yes, and he bought it for us.
The point is, we got the line.
Yeah, she's just giving you a very strange look, like, what? Peed on sofa? Never mind,
This is our everyday. Yeah.
It's true.
Regardless, thank you. I will take you to the filigree orchard. Samson, before we do so, may I have a word? She raises an eyebrow as you hesitate.
Samson, go talk to the lady so we can get out of here.
Okay.
Do you want a word?
I'll go off.
Symphonia takes you aside away from everyone else, and she just cradling her lyre and holding it close, and she takes you out because it is an open concept with all windows that surround the entire building, and she kind of looks out, leaning against the banister, and she doesn't look at you. And she says, I still don't like you, Samson. But now that I have this back, at least I can start fresh. Something new. Something that has my name on it. Something to grow from. You at least gave me that chance. We both know that you didn't come here to do this for me. But this one. And she gestures over to Praeria. You have traveled with her for quite some time now. I do not know her as you do, and I want to know from you. Do you think she will be a good queen?
I can't imagine that you'd want my opinion on the subject. Seems odd. Why do you ask?
Because regardless of your personality, it is your home just as it is mine, and you love it as I do. And when you put your mind to something, as you have in the past, you do not fail. As upsetting as that is. Like I said, I still do not like you.
You know, Symphonia, you might be better off maybe trying to figure out how you might like me in the future. That way, to your point, Priya is going to be your queen whether you want her to or not, and whether I think she's going to be good at it or not. And if things go well, I might be able to help you get back over to the wild. But I might think about that before you're telling me how much you don't like me all the time. Does that make sense?
She just kind of she finally looks at you and she glares. She goes, "You have a lot of nerve. After everything that you have done to me. You think that I am supposed to kneel down in your very presence and thank you for everything?
No, I'm not going to be queen.
You think that I should treat you with such respect after what you've done to me?
No, absolutely not.
Isn't
I don't want your respect. I don't want your friendship. I want you to finish your deal. That is all. That's the nature of our relationship. You made that entirely clear. We are not friends, Symphonia. You've made that abundantly obvious.
We are not friends. That you are correct. But you should know that even though that we are not friends, doesn't mean that you have to be a complete asshole.
I'm pretty sure we're late already.
Alright. I have delayed you long enough, and I honestly cannot stand to look at you much longer. Shall we? And she begins to... She just leaves in a huff. She takes you all and just very breathlessly... Go ahead.
While they were talking, can I have ordered some tea and some food that we can bring with us on this little excursion, because we're not supposed to eat anything while we're there? Like if they have to go anything.
Given that conversation...
Oh, I ordered it while Samson was doing it. There's other waiters. I'm not associated with him. I just want to order a chai.
All our orders.
Anyone noticed that the pies taste a little different today?
Like spit. Tastes like spits at them.
It tastes fine.
Yeah, no, Latern has his 10 good berry in his little crocheted bag that has L on it, and he's just gonna pop one of those and put it back on his belt, because that's what I feel like he's gonna be eating for the next 3 months.
She looks at you all and she says, "They do not like outsiders. Stay here. I will inform Lotham of your arrival before we depart."
Do you have any tips?
She looks at Samson, and then she walks down the stairs and doesn't answer you.
Do I know who Lotham is?
He's kind of like the manse raider of this safe haven, essentially. So yes, I would say yes. Like he kind of like leads the outcasts.
Lotham.
Mm-hmm. Samson, did you say something? She seems upset.
She's always upset.
Oh.
Samson is always saying something.
Both these things are true and correlated.
I am sure we will all be on our most pleasant behavior while we are within the orchard, yes?
How is the best behavior go? Like, what are Fey manners?
Are we like walking in a tree? Like, how is it?
Fey manners is don't answer any of their questions, never say yes to anything, and never accept anything. Assume they're trying to fuck you over.
What if we come across as rude?
Well, that's fine.
You
Samson
are.
will take care of it.
Really?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
No, you're not rude. Just assume it is like talking to Samson, but worse.
So we have to be like Samson.
No,
Yeah.
no.
No. Assume you're talking to me, but that I don't love you all very much. Does that make sense?
Do you love us very much, Samson?
Obviously. I am nice to all of you nearly all of the time.
Of course he loves us.
So imagine imagine what would happen if I didn't. And then that's why you don't talk to anyone or tell them yes about anything ever. If you and your it might be easiest just to try to be rude. If you attempt to be rude and never say yes and never answer anyone's questions, then you might successfully navigate the Fae.
Okay.
When in
Stick
doubt,
around you.
when in doubt, be rude.
All right.
This will go well.
Symphonia eventually does return to you all. And she beckons you down the steps as you all approach. She opens the door for all of you and then lets the door shut, like slam, sway in front of Samson. And then she leads you down the cellar steps to the roots of her ginkgo tree. The roots are large and twist into the clumps and walls of the cellar, and they pass down through the floor, and she lovingly admires it as she turns to look at you all. Have you all traveled by route before? I am asking them, not you, Samson.
What's it
Never.
like?
No.
Well, the roots are the veins of the earth, and we will travel the roots to the orchard. The trees of the orchard are a safe haven for all the outcast fae, even dryads like myself. And the great dryad of the orchard, Lotham, presides over the safe haven. She looks at each of you except Samson. You have all done your great service. So I will offer you advice. Do not drink the wine. The wine of the Fae is made of memories. The wine, it enthralls mortal drinkers and make them forever pine for another drop. The most intense memories, they get unraveled into wisps of emotion and infused into this wine. So, I would not recommend it. Now, each of you, join hand.
Circle time.
Yeah.
Try to relax. This will not be pleasant for some of you. Mostly one of you. And she takes one of the roots and her eyes begin to glow. And all of a sudden you feel your bodies compress very tightly. You see a swirl of yellow and green energy move around you. You bite down and you have that gritty sensation between your teeth. You taste dirt, and you feel your body being pulled by an immense force. Imagine if you were buried alive, that tight compression on your body, except your arm is attached to something so strong, you're getting pulled and dragged through the very earth. And then all at once, you feel that tight compression release, and you can breathe fresh air, your vision blurred as you all take a moment to adjust to your surroundings.
Ugh.
That was unpleasant.
That was horrible.
This is how you do things, Samson? That's just
I mean, I usually just fly. So this is also a relatively new experience for me. So
yeah. What's it look like here?
One
It's
second.
a hot, fresh narration.
Oh, whoa. It looks like I'm on drugs.
Oh, yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me adjust here in our new
Gosh.
new scene. You look around And you notice that you're standing in a row of orchard trees. The fruit is vibrant and rich, enticing. The skin of the fruit looks almost polished and flawless. And it glows slightly from violet to cyan, and the trees are close together with large blossoms, and every few yards you see ladders that lead up to the canopy of the fruit trees, and next to each ladder, a large set of barrels filled with fruit. Picturesque and inviting. You see glowing wisps dance and move past you. Latern and Samson, you notice the wisps they all seem to be moving and dancing in the same direction. And as you're just kind of, your vision is just kind of coming back together, Finali and Latern, because you are the only two here that aren't directly descended from an archfey or an archfey, you smell a strong, alluring scent that pulls you in a particular direction. You smell what you are most attracted to. So, Latern and Finali, what do you smell?
Wait, Lauren, Finali is descended from Zebulun, who is born of an archfey, right?
Yeah, but he's not enough. It's not enough.
Okay.
He's got.
I was just like, can it just be Latern? Because that was the funniest thing.
He's got too much. He's got too much human
We've
in
lost
him.
the human.
Like, y'all
Too
smell
much
that?
O'Roon.
Like nobody else smells that.
I smell it. Wow. What do you smell, Latern?
Anybody else smell it?
I said I smell it.
I said, anybody else smell it? As he's walking towards this smell.
And we'll just follow him.
No.
Describe it.
It smells like the peaches that I had back on my island.
Smells like the bread my mom used to make. I'm
so good.
I
gonna go ahead and walk this.
No, you're not.
I need Finn and Latern to make a wisdom save for me.
Oh yeah, this is bad, y'all.
We're so hungry.
We
Well,
just discussed this.
I'm gonna be making him with that disadvantage if I don't get this.
I got a 11.
I got a 13.
Prey would like to help Samson hold on to the bread.
I grab Finn by the belt. Just no.
You both really need to eat some of the fruit. You really want it.
Oh yeah,
You
perfect.
really, really want it.
Perfect. Luda's gonna start taking out his bow and aiming at one of the fruit pieces, and go ahead and attach a rope to it.
Please
Latern?
don't.
Pull it back.
Latern,
Yeah, it's
Latern, I suggest that you ignore the fruits and you stay with us for now, okay?
But we
Make me a
haven't-
wisdom saving throw with disadvantage while Samson grabs Finali, okay?
I haven't had it in so long.
No,
Can I
you
just
don't-
have
you-
one bite?
You don't need it. I hug him like barely.
Oh yeah, so I got a 10 on that one. So how does this
Okay.
work? Because that's like
You-
a double fail.
You definitely fail against my suggestion, which is ignore the fruit, stay with us, and keep going where we're going. Just ignore the fruit for now. You don't want it. You're being
how does that
distracted.
work,
Everything is
though?
okay.
Because like I failed both wisdom saves. Do they just cancel each other out?
Esperis with her spell cancels that out. So like you
Perfect.
still feel hungry, but you're like, like you basically regain your sense of strength, your inner strength to like not eat the cake.
This is so
Okay.
unfair, Samson.
It's just you
where's-
want a good berry?
I'm gonna start eating all of my good berries. Like I got
Alright.
9 left.
Like
I'm just gonna-
somebody, like a smoker, like put the nicotine patch on. Put the nicotine patch on.
I'll use a spell to make like 40 good berries, and I'll put them all in a bag. I'll give one to Finn.
Why can't I have more?
This will fill you up.
And Ludin's gonna eat and stare at Finn as he eats his own.
I
I
make it.
want more than.
I
Can
make
I
it-
have one, Latern?
You only need one. I make it smell like the peaches.
Now I know what Samson feels like.
Symphonia looks at you all, and you can see like the ginkgo leaves in her hair beginning to wither, and she says, "I cannot linger here for long. I must return to my tree. Continue up this row. You will find two satyrs. They patrol the orchard. They are Naya and Vilya. I told them you will be coming.
Do they have
Thank
the
you
bread
so much, Symphonia.
that I smell?
Thank you.
No? Yes.
No, the bread, the
There's
bread
no
and the
bread.
peaches, they're
Yeah.
a trick. Do not, just don't.
Do you want a peach goodberry,
Thank
Luden?
you so much, Symphonia. We can't thank you enough for all of your assistance today.
Thank you. You have been wonderful.
She just kind of nods her head and glares at Samson, and then you watch her disappear in a swirl of ginkgo leaves.
So
Wait, let's get away from these trees before these two lose it. Come on.
You all begin
I just push Finn forward. Come on.
I don't even know what trees you're talking about, Sam. Just keep talking.
You all begin making your way down to the end of the row, and you see an old man sitting next to a barrel of fruit. And there are about 4 bare fruit cores. Like he ate the fruit down to the cores, sitting next to him.
What is he?
He's just an old man. He's just like a regular old man.
So he's a human old man?
Yeah, he looks like a human, regular old man.
He gets to eat the fruit.
You just watch as he grabs another piece of fruit, like another full piece of fruit from the barrel that he's sitting next to, and he takes a bite. And as he takes a bite, you watch as a wisp dances out of his left ear, bouncing and swirling, and begins making its way to the center of the orchard.
Samson, what was that? What was that just came out of his ear?
If I had to guess, probably him seeing us for the first time.
What?
Finally, that man has not been. That man, when he came here, was not an old man.
Like he turned old here?
And that's all he does.
Is turn old and eat stuff?
Yeah. And that'll be you if you eat the apples. So don't.
Okay.
That little thing was him seeing us. Are these memories?
That's what Symphonia said.
Like the camp is harvesting human memories to make wine out of. Lovely.
Like
Do something for this man.
like the camp is being protected by the orchard.
Is it just human memories?
Can we help him somehow?
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I don't think you can ever go get something like that back.
And if we could break his pattern, I suppose, how would we get him out? We came here through roots.
To Southstone with us. This is okay. Can I just see if he's okay? I'm gonna go squat in front of this old man.
Luden's gonna pull out his bow and aim it at the old man.
The old man's fine. That old man's not going anywhere, don't worry.
Is Luden going full on mercy killing?
Oh
right
my
now?
god!
No, but if this dude punches Esperis in the face for helping him, he's gonna get shot.
You kneel down in front of the old man, and he's just like, "You want a bite?"
No, thank you. That's very kind of you. Are you all right?
Of course I'm all right. I've got my fruit. Do you want a bite?
No, thank you. That's very kind of you.
What's your name?
How long have you been here?
Oh, hello there. Do you want a bite?
No, thank you. That is very kind.
Oh.
Get up.
When did you get here?
Very recently. Very recently. Thank you so much for your hospitality. She's not right. I don't know if we have time to do this right now. Let's keep going.
Bow will be put down.
I think Samson's face looks very sad when Esperis turns around and leaves that face. And then like turns around and comes back to us. His face just looks very sad.
What's wrong, Samson?
Feeling like that man's whole life is gone. All because he walked into the wrong place. I don't know if he did so on purpose or not.
Yeah.
You see a lot of those guys around here?
Let's hope not.
Okay.
You continue on?
Yeah.
You continue onward and see two satyrs round the corner, and they kind of round the corner of one of the rows. And as they see you, one of them counts, looking down at their notes. Yeah, they fit the description. You Samson Martis?
Oh yeah, that's me.
All right, hurry up. Which one's you, immortal?
Immortal
Amortal, sorry.
or immortal? Just these three.
Right.
Point at Finn, Looted, and Praeria.
You see as they're approaching, they're pulling out these like woven crowns and stuff.
Esperis is what about Cassius? Is an immortal. Neither is
Cassius. Did Cassius come with you guys?
I don't think so. He's
Yeah.
with Zemlin.
Yeah.
I would
so
not.
we're-
Yeah,
I would
was
not
like,
have
oh.
brought Cassius
Yeah,
here.
no.
How are we getting Cassius?
that would have been bad taste.
Wait, so
Zemlin can probably bring him.
Okay. We'll say that we asked her to do that.
yeah, because I assume that's what.
Yeah.
Cool.
Well, so they pull out these woven crowns. They're very similar to the ones you made at the Fey Oak with Samson. They do glow a little bit. He goes, "Put these on. Go ahead and put them on before you sweeten our wine. Now they'll stave your hunger, but they'll keep you
No,
from
thank you.
No, thank you at all.
Oh, wait.
Alright.
No.
I think
Do you
these
mind
are
if we-
alright.
Do you mind if we take a look at them before the mortals accept?
Go right ahead."
Really, are you able to identify something without touching it? Is this a thing that you can do?
I don't, but let me check with my brain list.
Yeah, can I look at them too?
Sure.
Can I look
Yeah.
at what they've given us?
Sure. You would know. I mean, you would have a good idea of what they are.
I
What are
have
they?
to touch it.
I have to touch it.
My brain is telling me I have to touch it.
I have to touch it.
So there's a give and a take with the Fae, right? You know that they can't lie, but that doesn't mean that they're not going to play tricks. So what they're saying is true. You're not going to, like, it's going to help you, like, not eat the apples, but it'll make sure you have really weird, off the wall, bat crazy dreams tonight. That
I'm good for 8 hours. Oh. Esperis.
So can we wear it? Because it looks really cool and pretty, and I really kind of do want to wear it, but I was trying to be rude.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I don't think you need it.
Okay.
suit yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You all make
I'm going to take them and I'm going to hold on to them just in case we need them later.
okay.
If they'll let me do that.
Yeah, you can take them. Yeah, you can take them.
Okay.
You continue onward, making your way to the center of the orchard. The heart of this safe haven kind of reveals more of its citizens, and you see satyrs and centaurs. A few pixies flutter past you frantically, landing atop of a pergola, eyeing you all, and you watch a few dryads under the pergola. They call to the wisps, and you watch as two of the dryads that are stomping grapes, and the other one twisting their hands, calling to the wisps, infusing them into the liquid, trickling into the wine barrel casks. And you are led over to the outskirts of a wheat field. And it's fenced in. And you see a few tieflings, which, Samson, you regard as probably individuals similar to yourself. Red caps, sprites, and they lean on the edge of the fence, watching the wheat field quietly. The wheat is tall, and you see in the center a man cautiously moving through the field, listening, constantly checking his surroundings. Brandon, would you like to tell everyone what your character looks like?
I most certainly would. Oh, goodness.
Yeah!
He is here. All right. So, carefully surveying his surroundings, you see he's quite tall, and muscular. He's not really wearing much. He has on it looks like he's wearing foliage, some sort. Lots of leaves and vines cover his body. As he's observing his surroundings, he's very strong, muscular build. And he has a long black hair, kind of frame a very nice, handsome, smiling, friendly face. He doesn't really notice you guys as he skulks about, and as he moves, the foliage and the leaves on his back and that cover his body kind of seem to move along with him as he moves through the field, almost too comfortable, like he moves on like almost animalistic, like as he's observing his surroundings, and he doesn't quite notice you guys yet. Very focused and keen on the task at hand.
And you watch as this individual shifts his head very abruptly to the right, hearing his attacker's approach. What does the counter look like, Akron?
As his assailant comes to pounce on him with this sneak attack, Akron swiftly his ears perk up and he spins around, and you see the foliage kind of like shift around and move as he thrusts his hand out, and vines kind of like snake down his arm, and they shoot out from his hand and wrap up his assailant tight as he falls down to the ground. And Akron, he kind of has a crouch pose, and he stands up triumphantly over him. His hair kind of blows a little bit in the wind. You don't know where the wind came from, and he stands and he puts his hands on his hips, and this is one of the most handsome, attractive looking men you've ever seen.
You watch as this assailant is a very young, handsome archfey, and he kind of flips, being like and bound at its side. He flips a dagger out from his belt and just kind of like shifts his arm up and like tears at the vines. And you see he has wings. And they're gold, crystalline, dragonfly-like wings. His skin is very golden tawny, with golden ginger hair. Wavy and long. It's actually tied back like Witcher style, half up, half down, with long eyelashes and upturned eyes with sharp eyebrows. And his smirk is very infectious. His eyes are sunset gold, and he is currently shirtless. His pants are lightweight with a draping of armor around his waist and thighs, and bark pieced together like scale mail, but instead they're very small bits of bark that are pieced together. And he just kind of laughs, and he'll kind of like rush at you, and but like very friendly, like tackle you to the ground. And as you see him, you notice that he took the rest of his scale mail off in attempt to beat you, Akron. And you know this is cheating. This drill was to train him in stealthing in his heavier armor. And he stands up and he just kind of stretches a little bit.
Akron kind of rolls over, and noticing this, he'll say, cheating isn't going to help you get any better at that.
You know, you're always talking about your opponent, taking him by surprise and doing something unexpected. That's just kind of what I did. So I wouldn't say I was cheating. I would say I was making some smart decisions to gain strategic advantage.
And he just smirks at you.
If you were more successful in your approach, I might tend to agree with you.
You're right there. It does sting a little bit, Akron. It does that you were able to still catch me even without the scale man on. I'm gonna say it was the bottom
I did have a little bit left on that I didn't quite get off fast enough.
Maybe that's all that noise you were making.
He just kind of like wrinkles his nose at you, and he looks up, and you both at this point notice the two satyrs bringing the individuals. They walk them over to you, and you see Villia.
Hey! If you'll just come over here, I need you all to come meet with Lonesome. I'm gonna go and make sure that he's away. But if you'll just come over, these are those individuals that Symphonia mentioned earlier.
Forget the peaches. Wow.
Oh. So these are our guests.
Is this a human?
Yes.
Is he a...
Yeah, he's human.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ludin
I don't know, I didn't
Did Ludin say that out loud?
Ludin is so confused. Ludin's so confused. He's just looking, just like a little, almost side eye after what he just saw with the other human, and then looking at this guy, he's like, I don't get it. How does this dude?
Yeah, Akron. He looks over each one of you. He kind of pauses at you, Ludin, for a second. And then his attention is immediately drawn to Esperise, and he walks up and he approaches her quite gallantly. And as he does, he waves his hand, and again you see the vines of his armor kind of weave down his hand, and a little flower appears in his hand, and he walks up to you and he goes, a pleasure to meet your acquaintance. My name is Akron, and he'll offer you the flower.
I was told we weren't supposed to accept things, Ludin says, side-eyeing at Esperise.
He completely ignores you.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He's not talking to you.
Yeah, you're right, Ludin.
Yes, the two of you are not supposed to.
Well, it's unsafe for anyone to. Esperise hasn't been here either.
Very kind of you, Akron. My name is Esperise. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Esperise, a beautiful name for such a beautiful creature. Please accept this flower, as it only pales in comparison to you.
Well, thank you very much.
So you approach a beautiful lady and give her subpar gifts. Interesting tactic.
I apologize for my companions. This is our first time in the area, and we are all somewhat cautious from stories that we have heard.
And he will clutch his heart quite dramatically at
this point your boy walks up and he's just like,
oh, it's a little bit rude to refuse gifts, but here my friend Akron was just merely offering a sweet gift to a sweet lady.
Oh well, listen, look, I wasn't prepared for such beauty to walk into our humble little grove today. Perhaps I should be more prepared next time.
We're supposed to be going somewhere.
I think we're waiting on a few. I think we can hang out and talk for a little bit. Oh, I'm Samson. Nice to meet you, Akron. And who's your friend here? Well, just some guy, I guess.
What shirtless man's name?
His name was
Gabriel, I believe.
It's Gabriel.
And he's back, y'all. Brandon is truly back.
Let me shake that rust off a little bit, you guys, okay?
No. He's all the way back.
I'm like, here's the note said.
Look at the notes, where are they?
Look at it. What's his name? What's your friend's name?
Well, introduce yourself, my guy. No, this is Avria. Yes,
pleasure to meet your acquaintance. Quite the unique bunch.
Yes, we don't get many different types around here. He's just look. He says Faye, Furbold, and you're like me.
Yes. Are you human?
Well, last time I checked, he'll walk up to you and get like maybe uncomfortably close for Luden, and he'll go in for a hug. He'll be like, "It's great to see another human here."
Luden doesn't know what he do. He doesn't know.
He's
looking to Samson for like help. Like what?
He'll hug you briefly, and then he'll back up. He'll clasp his hands on your shoulders, and he'll go, "Welcome."
No.
You didn't guess what I was. I'm like a quarter human.
A quarter human. Well, the ears say elf. So elf and a quarter human and a quarter of something else, maybe?
Kalishtar.
Very cosmopolitan.
Interesting. You're just a little mixture over there, aren't you?
Mm-hmm. Oh, we're supposed to be rude, huh?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
No.
How did a human come to find themselves in the filigree orchard? Other than the fruit, of course.
Well, I kind of just wandered here as a child once, and I've been here as long as I can remember.
But why didn't you end up like the old man back there?
Oh, and he'll kind of put his hand on his arm, and he'll say, I think it has something to do with this, actually. He says, I had the good fortune of coming across a Fey Oak, and it was well, I guess the Fey Oak kind of had a good fortune of me coming across it. It was in trouble, and I helped it. Not all humans are as lively as I am. So, and I guess it decided to return the favor, and it gave me a little bit of itself.
Oh.
I reach over and touch it just to confirm, like, just move pieces of it around and things like that. Check to see if it's like alive.
Yeah, Samson, when you touch it, it does feel like it's alive. It definitely reacts to you. Not negatively or anything, but just like it kind of ripples at your touch, and then Akron stands there. He lets you mess with it, whatever, and it kind of feels like it's breathing on its own. Like it doesn't move like explicitly, but like just every now and again it'll just kind of like twitch a little bit, or like you kind of you kind of like get a sense of its rhythm as it kind of like moves up and down.
It's very nice indeed, friend. You seem quite blessed, I would say, or at least the wild likes you a lot.
Well, yes, I am.
I'm so confused on what's going on right now.
Have you been here a long time?
As long as I can remember. I wasn't always here. As a child, I think, well, humans aren't born in the Feywild, so I must have come from the material plane at some point, but it must have been a while ago. Those memories are kind of foggy.
Much in way.
All that, and then you got stuck teaching this guy how to be stealthy, huh?
Well, among other things, yes.
What about your parents? Do you remember them?
My human ones.
I guess you have an extra set too.
I mean, we don't have to give them, the 20 questions right this second. I mean, they're almost coming back here now. So
okay. We'll talk later, Akron.
Yes, I do an insight check. Sorry.
An insight check on what?
I want to do an insight check on Avriel. What's his fucking deal? What's his deal? Is he just standing there? Is he cool? Like, what's going on with him? Essentially, Esperise is just staring at like peripheral vision while she's being polite to Akron here, just going like, what's up with him? Does he know who I am? Does he know who I am? No, he doesn't know who I am. I'm being totally cool right now. Then I do an insight check to see if there's any indication that this person recognizes me at all.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Insight check. 25.
He doesn't recognize you.
Okay, cool.
He does not recognize you, and
now he never will.
And granted, he has not seen you since you were a baby.
Yeah, no, that's totally fine. That is not something that Esperis is going to change right now in a group setting, but she's going to continue making shifty looks at him.
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
So I am not sure exactly. It sounds like people are prepared for our arrival. Is there some sort of meeting that people will be attending? Will you be joining us for this situation? Or is it just casual guests?
Well, wait, are you asking Avriel? Or are you asking Akron?
Both of them. They're
Okay.
both there.
Okay.
Oh, Akron looks to Avriel.
Symphonia told us about your... Well, she told us a little bit about your situation, and, of course, we'll want to speak to Losum. Probably it's best that you hear it from him. We're gonna need a little bit of help.
When may we speak with him?
You'll be able to speak with him tonight.
How long do Fey days take? And he looks over
Guys
at
aren't
Samson.
we're not in the Feywild, you know that, right?
Yeah, this is like
Okay.
Aurora, Iowa. Like,
It's a little. It's like
I don't get
Little
it.
Feywild. You know,
It's-
like
Avriel,
Italy or
Avriel looks among you all, and he's like, you know, we're all outcasts here, right? The orchard is a safe haven that keeps us safe.
But I thought we weren't supposed to eat anything here.
you're
Is
not.
it because there's Fey food here?
Yes, Watson. That's exactly it.
Okay. Well, I guess we'll see him tonight, right?
Yeah, it's gonna be fine.
I'm gonna. I'm subtle casting message to Luton. Do not trust any of these people. Keep your wits about you. You don't have to go through mind mazes. Just be quiet and don't eat anything, okay?
Noticing
Fine.
that,
That's what he
that's the
says.
exact
Just
same
fine.
noticing that Ludin, his new human friend, is seeming a little distraught. Akron will walk over to you, Ludin, and he'll put an arm around you and he'll go, I know it can be a little overwhelming. Obviously, it's a lot. But don't worry, I've been here pretty much my whole life. I'll walk you through everything.
Mr. Akron, I'm gonna be honest with you, that doesn't very sound, comforting. But yeah, let's go walk or something.
I mean, look, it's fine to be around the Fae and around in the wild itself as one of you people, if you're with the right kinds of Fae folk. But if you're not, then and we don't know exactly who all these people are. Like Avril, like what's your family like when you're over there? Are they you're all obviously good friends with the mortals, right?
Wait, what are you asking? What his how many questions did you asked him? How his
one,
relation?
like-
What's your family like?
Yeah, I was like, how does
Who
your
are you?
family?
What's your deal? How do you feel about mortals?
Yeah.
Tell me your backstory right
You want
now.
to kill a god?
Like I'm trying to
You want to fight?
prompt him to be like, oh yeah, we're nice to people. So I'm pretty sure he's on our side. I think.
Who knows, man?
But you asked about his family.
Yeah, I was like, how does your family feel about the mortals?
My family's, I would say, a bit indifferent about mortals, like most Fae.
Yeah, but
I hope
someone
you like
was
me a little bit.
Yeah, come on. Some of us are very nice to them, and some of us are not. You know.
Of course.
So you're not immortal? He says to Akron. You're
I'm
not
not
immortal? Immortal?
immortal.
Yeah.
Oh no, far from it.
How old does Akron look?
Look, the key word
Yeah.
here.
Look.
I mean, he looks like an adult.
20s, 30s, 40s.
Like late 20s, maybe
Late 20s. Okay.
mid 20s, maybe
It was.
mid to late 20s.
Okay.
A creature
just-
of immense power lives inside you, and it does not prolong your life. The tree. It does not.
Oh well, it definitely keeps me healthy. I think it just slows everything down for me.
Interesting.
Okay.
Helps me acclimate to the different Fey environments.
Akron and I grew up together. Well, sort of, but yeah.
So,
We
Every
age a
other
little bit
you say-
differently, but but yeah.
would you say that your views on mortals are different than your family's views?
He feels like you get the sense with your passive insight he feels a little bit uncomfortable because he is in an open environment, and he kind of looks at you like, and he looks at
I'm so sorry.
he looks at Akron and he goes, "Oh, it's part of the reason why I was banished."
I am so sorry for pressing into a personal matter upon first meeting.
So you could say that maybe I've got a little bit of a soft spot. And but I don't blame you, Akron, of course. Don't blame you. You're my best mate.
Of course. And, you know, everything happens for a reason.
That's right. And let's be honest, I'd be bored out of my damn mind if you weren't here.
Because I can't taste it. What's the fruit like, really? He's talking to Akron. What's it taste like?
I guess it tastes different to everyone, right, Lauren? Tastes like,
It tastes different to everyone.
yeah.
And it tastes different for everyone, and each bottle tastes different. Because each bottle is a different collection of someone else's memories. Like it's different all the time. That's why it's so amazing and delicious.
And I know how these things work, right?
Yeah, you would know that.
Mm-hmm. Well, my friend, it tastes. It depends. It depends on the content of the memory, right? So certain bottles to me taste better than others. Like the memories of, sweet memories, like a loved one, or like, the first time doing something that someone's passionate about, maybe a song that reminds them of that brings back a fond memory. Those are the sweetest ones to me. They taste like candy, or just like sweet nectar.
Do they ever allow you to remember your own things?
No. No, it's more like getting lost in someone else's memory, or at least the feeling of it.
Well, to be honest, that doesn't actually sound too bad.
See? It's not so scary once you know what you're looking at.
Once you understand, of course, that you are drinking someone else's memories as they are trapped in a vineyard outside your home for hundreds of years, it's much more pleasant. It does sound very sweet.
The orchard protects us here. And we don't have much. We've been outcasts from our home. But you lot look like you've been traveling for quite some time.
Yeah.
Do
It's
you
been a
get
long
around
day.
much?
Oh.
We get around everywhere.
This
More
is
than
my
most.
second time in a Fey area. Put it that way. The last time wasn't too.
Second time? Oh, did you meet someone else that you know? I can see that you're an Archfey. Miss, have you met other Archfey like yourself before?
Yes, I have.
Oh, well, what was their name? And he seems very interested.
Well, there is Zemlin Brayfire, who lives in Rondreis. There's, what was her name? With Urmir. Ramirez, who lives in a tower in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, there's several of them. How long until you think the sun sets? Are we close to speaking with?
He looks disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Well, if you happen to come across, if you happen across another one,
yes,
you'll let me know. Been looking for someone. Don't expect to find him, but if you happen to come across another one, do let me know.
Who are they? We intend to come across a great many people soon.
I'm sure this great big world, you probably haven't heard of them, but just somebody I know.
So we
They're
are to simply tell you everyone we meet without a name.
That's a good point. My sister, Esperis.
Can I speak to you privately, Adrian? Is there a possibility that we could speak privately? In
Everyone is
Everybody just goes.
Finn's just like,
Sure. And he'll walk over with you.
Hey,
Finn, thank you so much.
Hey, Finn, do you think you can sneak up on Akron like Alvarez was trying to do just now?
I think I could. I think I could do it better.
Akron will raise an eyebrow. Says, sneak up on me.
Mm-hmm.
He'll kind of give you a once over. Finn doesn't look too much like a warrior type, right? Like,
no.
Yeah.
not in the clothes he's in right now, no.
Yeah, he's like, Well, I've learned if I've learned one thing, it's never judge a book by its cover. So,
What do I get if I sneak up on you?
my undying admiration.
I want that flower.
I'll give you an entire bouquet.
Hell yeah.
You know what? This sounds fun. Let's go.
Yeah, Latern is gonna just take a couple steps back and just watch Esperis and her apparently little brother, as they or older whoever brother.
It's her older brother.
Yeah,
they look the way they look.
As they walk off, I'm gonna go to Latern and I'm like, I bet you 100 gold Finn does it successfully.
What is this?
Latern just gonna look at Samson like, just watch. Not gonna listen in. And he'll keep staring at Esperis and the older brother.
All right, so the rules are simple. I take 30 paces, 60 paces out into the field, and you do your best to reach me undetected.
Okay. Sounds great.
Careful, Akron. They're really sneaky.
Gary is not so discreetly like causing distractions.
he'll give Finn a wink as he turns, and he begins to walk more like strut out into the field. And as he does, he will wave his hands a bit and cast Speak with Plants. Let me make sure I'm doing this right. Yeah. And so basically, he casts Speak with Plants, and the field all kind of begins to sway back and forth as he's walking, and it's all kind of low key at first, and he'll walk 60 paces out, just like he said, two movement phases, sure, and he'll stop without even turning around, and he'll put his hands on his hip, and he goes, "Whenever you're ready." And Finn, as before when you start moving, you notice that because he can't speak with plants, it makes it a little bit more difficult to move through the field, as it becomes difficult terrain, as the plants kind of seem to like block your way or trip you up or kind of grab at your foot, or, you know.
Hey. All right. Are we?
All right. I make Finn invisible. While our dear Akron was turned around and talking to plants, I made Finn invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ferrari is also talking to the plants. She's confusing the plants.
So Finn, now invisible, will invoke, or let's see what's it called. Invoke duplicity and use he will use his zodiac ability. I think it's like with sound, right? It's either sound or smell, to make it seem like his duplicate is walking to the right. So he'll have that noise kind of follow, like the rustle of the grass. And all the while he'll keep sneaking towards Akron.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I wasn't expecting everyone else to jump in. I really should have. I'm thinking about it.
But the power of my friends, I'm getting that bouquet, damn it.
The power of friendship. Yeah, you know what? That's fine. I was hoping like difficult terrain would just give you like disadvantage on your stealth check or something, but that's okay. He has a decent perception.
No way. Absolutely no way. Go ahead. Dude.
So with you being invisible, that's like.
But he sees Finn. He sees Finn walking that way, like to the right of him. So he starts to see him as peripheral.
He turns around and he'll see you, and he'll see I guess Friendly in his peripheral, and he'll kind of laugh and he'll say, "That's the opposite of stealthy, you know." Talking to the doppelganger.
Mm-hmm.
But he'll still kind of be looking around then.
He's gonna like control his duplicate to kind of like start walking towards Akron as he just is like making his way closer.
Careful, Akron. As Luden's still watching Esprit and her brother.
I guess the duplicate would also like try to look stealthy as well.
I was gonna say, is he just running up towards me?
He's
like,
trying to hide in the grass.
Mm-hmm. Well, at this point, not really knowing what Finn can do. At this point, I feel like Akron is probably like completely fooled, and he's gonna he's gonna stand and kind of look at Friendly sneaking up towards him, and he's gonna wave his hand and cause one of the plants to like trip him up a little bit and have him fall over.
And just as he does that, I think, how far do you think I am about maybe behind him? I would say as he's distracted with the duplicate, Finn's gonna try and use Misty Step and like jump onto the back of him because he's coming up from behind.
Just like land on him.
Yeah, he's gonna try and like land on him basically.
you misty step over and completely taken by surprise as he trips you up and he's standing there kind of smug to himself, and then suddenly there's just this weight on his back as you like kind of, I'm imagining you like grab onto him like a spider monkey.
Yep, with arms around his neck, like, gotcha. You're not so sneaky after all, are you?
He'll like stumble forward a little bit, but like, you know, he'll and then kind of like shift your weight around on his back and be like, wow, you actually got me. He'll like, I guess I did judge a book by its cover. And he'll like shake you off of him a little bit. He'll turn it and he'll look and he'll be like, impressive. And
I nudge Latern and I ask for my payment.
Oh, you're muted, Chris.
I can't hear you when you do that.
I was told not to pay anyone anything here, so.
I see.
And Finn, he'll reach a hand out and he'll be like, well played, my friend.
Thanks for getting all like the etiquette he was studying grabs. He's like, yeah.
and you shake hands, and as you do, the vines are gonna move again, and they go down his arm and from his hand over into yours, and as you pull the hands away, the vines turn into little flower. They begin to bloom into a bouquet of flowers.
Aw, thanks. Is Akron's hair pulled up? It looks like it is in the picture.
Oh, yeah. To keep it out of his eyes, you know, so we can see.
Finn will take one of the pink flowers and put it in his hair, in Akron's hair. Just be like, and he'll turn around and walk back towards he'll swagger back towards the group.
Akron will just like roll his eyes and walk back.
As they swagger back, like what is happening with the siblings over here?
It's a good question. Esperise, as you like grab him by the collar.
I don't grab him by the collar. I very politely ask to have a private
No, I know. I
conversation.
was thinking very cartoon-like, whoo.
As we're like 60 feet away, how far away do I have to get where I think Latern can't hear me anymore? 100 feet away, 200 feet away.
That sounds 100 feet away.
Like behind some fruit bushes or something. I'm still maintaining concentration on suggestion to make sure that Latern doesn't go face first into a fruit bush.
As you're kind of like walking very quickly this way, he goes, "Look, I get the sense that you're really uncomfortable here and you don't like us very much. And I get that. It's fine.
I am so sorry to give you that impression. Oh, it's just been a long day. It's a long day. I was hoping I might have information about Esperis, but I wanted to ask some questions of you before I shared that information.
You do?
I might, yes.
Oh, come on. I know. I'm a fae. You don't have to lie to me. You said you know 2, right? Why would you bring up a 3rd out of middle nowhere?
I would like to ask you questions first before
Sure, I'll play along. Go ahead.
Why are you looking for her?
That's a bit of a silly question. She's my sister. I love her.
How long has it been since you've seen her?
It's been a very long time. It's like asking me how old am I? We don't really keep track of the years or the days. It's hard to do so, but long enough. And I think that's enough.
It's looking
Too
for
long.
her. Why you were banished from your home?
No. I wouldn't say that. I think looking for her's the reason why I hate my father so much.
What do you think is going to happen when you find her?
I don't know. I suppose she'll know just what to say. Maybe she'll remember something I said. And if... maybe she'll know just right when she sees me.
I think she would, yeah. I don't think she knows exactly what to say, though, certainly. The only thing that I know that you have ever said to me is that I can do difficult things. And this is probably the most difficult thing that I have ever done in my life.
And his face just kind of softens and, like, his eyebrows arch as he looks at you.
My name is Espris Antille. My father is Iliantus. I suppose that would make you my brother.
He looks at you, and there's this relief. Like somebody who's been holding something for so long, trying for so long, never giving up, and finally seeing it come to fruition. And he tears up a little bit. He says, "I'm sure you know a lot about my kind, and I've heard your friends say many times not to say yes and never accept anything, but so I'll ask regardless. Can I give you a hug?"
Yeah, of course.
And he smiles and he just rushes up to you and like embraces you, and his dragonfly his is more crystalline wings just kind of wrap around you, and your wings begin to glow a little bit as well. This blood connection that you have between each other. And he just silent tears just kind of drip down his face, and he kind of pulls back.
Espris very tentatively like put her hands on like his shoulders. She's hugging back, but in a very delicate, hesitant way still.
And he just kind of pulls back. I honestly never thought I'd see you again. After our father did what he did. I was so mad at it, and I'm still mad at him this day. I wish he never...
Oh, no, finish your thoughts. You have much more to say than I do.
I wish he never sent you away.
Well, I lived with my mother in Dawn's Rise 47 years. And I love the material plane. So it's not as if I suffered. I'm sorry you have had to look for me for so long.
You didn't suffer. You're my best friend. We don't have friends, really, here. Not until I met Akron. I hadn't really felt like I had a real friend for a long time. Akron, we're very close. He's my best mate. But I didn't have friends for a long time.
The wilds or here in the orchard?
Both.
Family resemblance. I only had one friend until this year, and now I am surrounded by them all the time. They are not so rude as they seem. They are not quite sure how to keep themselves safe in this situation.
Most of us aren't either. A lot of us have really bad manners. How did you find me? How did you find us?
Honestly, I did not know that you existed until a few months ago. I don't know if I don't remember ever having been in the wilds in my life. So, otherwise, maybe I would have looked, I don't know what it would have been if I had known that you were here.
That's what is interesting to me because you were so young. I didn't think you could possibly remember me. That's why it was so hard. I didn't expect to ever find you because I never knew that you'd know I existed.
I do. I do now, and I don't know what it means, but I do think I am happy to have found you. You were very nice when you were a toddler, so...
He kind of tilts
nice
his
now.
head. He kind of tilts his head curiously as you say that. And he's like, I was very nice as a toddler. And you think
Normally,
you like
I am
me?
much better at speaking. I don't...
Do you not like me?
No, you seem very nice. You are... My personal impression of Fae and the Fae Wilds is that you are currently living in a place that eats people's brains to make wine.
I can see why you would think all that. But perhaps from a different perspective. We're all outcasts here. And the orchard protects us. The people who come looking for us or stumble in this direction, that's how the trees protect us. They don't suffer. And for the longest time, it didn't bother me. For the longest time. I hated myself. Because every time I looked in the mirror, I saw our father. Or... I didn't want to be like him. I hated him. I still hate him for what he did. And if I hadn't taken Akron from the orchard, he would have sat there for the rest of his life. I found something out about myself that day. So you can think that we're barbaric. And in a way it is. This is the only home that I have right now. This is the only home we all have right now, and we're doing the best that we can to protect it. So I won't blame you for thinking that. I can understand it. But all I ask is that you look and see we're just trying to survive out here. We're remnants of what we should be. And all we want to do is go back home. Although I don't know if I do anymore.
Avriel, I think I like you very much. And I'm going to hug him now with a little bit more arm. The people that I travel with, we bring, things will be changing, I think, in the Feywild. We are from, we're not from the Gloomy Court. No, we're from the Shammer Court. Yeah, is that right? Originally?
That's right.
And we bring news of the Gloomy Court, but I'm sure Fairy and Samson will want to discuss this, but things will be changing. And
There was a mention about that, but of course Lomas, or Lossum, it was to be directed to him before he spoke to all of us. But I'm really glad to see if maybe we could sit down and patch up, and talk if you'd like. I know it's a lot right away, and I don't want to make you uncomfortable. I get the sense that you're already feeling uncomfortable.
Normally I'm able to hold myself together much better, but there has been a lot of news in a very brief amount of time. And you are very important to me, and I was scared about it. But yes, let's, I'll tell you about Don's Rise and about Remblay's kind of sit down with him and chat. She also kind of doesn't want to go back to the group just now because they'll have a lot of questions.
You sit in the orchard, a good 150 feet away, and you just chat with your brother as the rest of the group kind of waits for evening to come to speak with Lossum. And I think that's probably a good spot for us to stop this evening. Ooh. Let me.
Welcome to the party.
I feel like that's how we've been ending all of these sessions lately.
Let me. Thank you, Haloidy, for the resub. Slayer Geezer, of course, for the resub. P was here for the follow. Dual Meaning for the raid of 11 viewers. And Gilded Steph for the follow as well. Thank you all so much. If you enjoyed our show this evening, we have Fate's End every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Central Standard Time right here on our Ink and Lyre channel. Tuesdays, we have Breach Battles. We only have 3 more? 3? 1, 2? No, 2?
3 weeks.
3?
3 weeks.
3.
Mm-hmm.
We are currently playing Malifaux 3E. It's a Malifaux 3E tournament. If you don't know what Malifaux is, it's by Weird Games. Somebody will put that in the chat for me. It is a war game that we play. We're doing a tournament, and we are down to the finals. We are down to the final 3 brackets. And Outcasts and the Guild will be going head-to-head tomorrow. So you can catch us tomorrow for Breach Battles at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Very exciting. The winner, of course, is going to get a prize money that will be matched for their chosen charity. And also, we're going to be doing a giveaway for tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to be giving away just yet. I didn't grab it. But we're going to be giving away another Through the Breach one-shot module. I think we're going to go with the Bayou Games. We're going to do a Through the Breach Bayou Games giveaway. And you can grab that, or attempt to grab that tomorrow on Breach Battles. So join us for that giveaway live on stream. Wednesdays, of course, we have Wild Beyond the Witchlight, which is our Iron Valor show. We play different Wizards of the Coast modules. Right now we're doing Wild of the Witchlight, and that is DM'd by our lovely Deanna. Danny and Rain are also in that show. And you can join us Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for Wild Beyond the Witchlight. And that is our shows that we have here on Ink and Lyre. If you enjoyed watching, please consider using that free Twitch Prime or subscribe to help support the channel so we can keep making awesome content. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening. Please stick with us. We're going to raid someone.
Did we level up? Or no?
Pressure.
For finishing an arc and discovering a new character and reuniting Cassius with his lost love.
Please.
And reuniting Esperise with her long lost brother. Like,
Please.
Who at least feels bad
we
for the mind
accomplished so
control.
much, guys. I think we deserve a level up.
We did it without shooting people too this time.
I'll think about it. I'll think about it.
Please give this poor gutter rat
a level up. I'll think about it. But we're gonna find somebody to raid. Stick with us. Thank you all so much for joining us this evening, and we will see you all next week. Good evening. Let's raid.